Foden too has got his form back, and at this rate, I don't see any sign of City slowing down. If the opposing teams that they play against don't capitalize on the chances, City, they'll not waste their chances. If they get them, they'll definitely score. And if they don't, they create a lot of opportunities for themselves.
For all the money they spend, it feels like they have gone back to the first because everything is predictable. I don't know. I feel like if they continue the way they have, I don't expect them to win the league.
6 million ways to die. Choose one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hurricane of Football podcast. Today we'll be reviewing the match week and we'll be going through some of the results and we'll be looking at some of the interesting things that happened this match week, especially with Liverpool and Salah and some of the other results. Manchester City getting a result at Crystal Palace. Arsenal narrowly winning against Wolves. Much more to come. Today I'm joined with Seth. Seth, how you feeling? What was your reaction to this game week?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, most of the matches were boring. If I'm being honest, most of the matches were boring. No, not a lot of exciting things really happened. Maybe I'll say if the matches I watched, none of them were really interesting. The Arsenal Bulls match was the final minutes were interesting, but the most of the match was boring. Like nothing really extra really happened to me this week. Newcastle Sunderland was also a bit interesting, but it wasn't really an exciting game week for me. How about you?
Yeah, I think generally what you'd expect, the big teams you'd expect to win, they won, apart from Tottenham, obviously. United are yet to play. That match to United, you really can't tell it's United. So let's start with Liverpool at Anfield. They hosted Brighton, and the conversation going into this match week was Salah going to play at all? So was it surprising to you that Salah came on? And what do you think about the 2-0 results they got?
Like, I'm not say I wasn't surprised that I came on. I wasn't surprised I came on first. I feel like Liverpool want to move quick beyond it, so I wasn't surprised I came on. And I feel like if he hadn't come on, I just prolonged the whole story, made it something more than it should have been. Something. So I feel like it wasn't a surprise. Plus, Joe Gomez got injured, so one way to move on from it was to bring him on, let him play a bit. He came on, he provided an assist for Eketike's second goal. He did some good things, also made some wild chances, but at the end of the day, the fans sang his name, they clapped for him. For everybody's sake, it was good that he just came on. Then now everybody can move on from the story. They have actually made the story that very quickly. It didn't really last long, just 1 week. The story has been killed basically. But
Yeah.
from the mad sense, I feel like yeah, Brighton also had their chances, but Liverpool were just had more clean instincts. They scored. Ekitike scored one of the fastest goals in the Premier League this season until it was broken today by Matheus Fernandes for West Ham. Then Salah assisted him for the second goal. Yeah, I just feel like Liverpool's quality showed through. It's something that Brighton didn't really have.
Yeah. I think this match specifically, Liverpool, they seem like they were playing how they used to play, especially last season. They the attack was fluid. They were getting forward quickly. Like they didn't dilly dally on the ball. It was 1-2 pass, and all of a sudden they've got a chance to score. And what do you think about the Ekitike and Isaac situation? Do you think Ekitike should maintain his position, or do you think Slot should trust Isaac to get his form that he had at Newcastle and start?
Honestly, I don't think Isak will be good for Liverpool this season. I don't think he'll be good for Liverpool this season. It may be a hot pick or not. I don't know. I just don't believe that he'll be good for them this season. I feel like he needs a year. So this is, I don't expect him to come good for them. So honestly, should just stick with Ekitike. The reason I say I don't expect him to be good is I know people say that preseason thing is an excuse and all that, but I feel like he actually needs it. He needs time to actually play with all of them to get used to them and stuff. And I don't think with the way like the team hasn't been performing well, now doesn't feel like the time where it'd be good for him to get to know everybody's playing style and whatnot, like what other people to build like telepathic bonds with some of the midfielders and the wing back and like the fullbacks. So I feel like Honestly, this whole year, be good for them. I could be wrong. I don't believe that he will have a good. He will be very good for the opposition. I feel like next season is where he will show more of his influence. Also, kind of I feel like a ticket should be given us to should be the one to start. But the only thing I'll say is if they keep rotating them where one of the plays like one of the play the ticket, one of them will get frustrated and likely leave. And I think if any of them is to leave, I feel like it will likely be a ticket because if
Yeah.
Liverpool to sell one, he's the one that if so you are supposed to get more money unless Isaac regains his form. If you had sell any of the ranks, like a TK will likely sell. So that's my whole take on it. I just think they should continue like a TK and just Isaac they should take like this season a tax write off. This season nobody should expect much from him and next season let's start from scratch. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think they should just trust Ekitike at this point because earlier in the season they trusted him, and when Isaac came, they benched him, and he lost his form a little bit. Right now, they started trusting him again, and he's delivering for them. So they should keep up with that. And concerning Liverpool's title chances, I think at this point they are no longer in the title race. You wouldn't expect them to be competing for the title at this point. But what do you think about top four? Do you think they'll be able to get top four at least?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Aston Villa on a good form. I don't think Aston Villa will be able to maintain that form from December all the way to May. I don't think so. Other teams in the Champions League, as the Champions League starts getting more tough, I feel like teams start to drop off. Chelsea are inconsistent. One month they are one of the best teams in the world. Another team they are on the same level as United. So you can never tell Chelsea. That one is there. Plus the teams gap at the moment right now between teams at the top isn't that isn't that wide. So I think the top four is they can make top four. What about you?
I don't want them to make top four, and but their performance against Brighton was. I mean, they still allowed chances. So it's really difficult to tell. Maybe January, if they reinforce their defense, they get a center back, they sign a center back either on loan or permanently because they might want to sign Gehi in the summer. I think at this point they should finish fifth at the very least. Yeah, I think that's my final prediction for their season. Moving on from Liverpool, we are going on to the other game that was played at the same time. Chelsea versus Everton. Chelsea won 2-0. They hosted Everton at the Stamford Bridge. Did you watch this game?
How do I say? I was supposed to watch my sporty TV vanished. So this match, no, I didn't watch. I can't say anything about it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you talk.
I mean,
I saw
I
that this one
was,
scored. Palmer scored. I saw that
yeah,
Palmer scored.
Copama scored.
And Malo.
Yeah. This is their first match they've won ever since Caicedo got his red card. So it says a lot about how much they need Caicedo in the team. Gusto was their man of the match. He got a goal and an assist. And Cole Palmer back from injury and he's back on the score sheet. Reece James held his own in that position. He and what's his name? He and Enzo Fernandez. So I don't know whether if Caicedo comes back, Reece James goes back to playing right back because he has been playing well in the central midfield for them, like the double pivot with Enzo Fernandez. Because I doubt Maresca will drop Fernandez, and now that Cole Palmer is back, you occupy the 10th position. So I think that will be their midfield. So I think Reece James will go back to playing right back, even though he has been playing well in that position for them. I saw Chelsea fans complaining about Garnacho. I feel like he's a young player. They should be patient with him. I mean, they signed him for a reason. But you never know with Chelsea. Maybe they just signed him in order to sell him for a profit. So Chelsea, once they get Caicedo back, I expect them to start playing better and get more games, win more games. They should finish high up the table, top four. Moving on from Chelsea to Arsenal versus Tottenham. Arsenal hosted
That's not versus Wolves. So
Wolves.
no, it's not versus Tottenham.
Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal hosted Wolves at the Emirates. And Arsenal narrowly won this game. Last minute own goal. Said, did you watch this game? And if you did, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I watched this one. I watched. That's not. They have gone back to their default setting of give everything to Saka. Let Saka do something. That's why look, I don't like watching Arsenal. They are much boring. Arsenal match is one of the most boring matches I ever watch. It's everything same thing. Give Saka. Either Saka will dribble, cross, or he'll dribble, cut inside and shoot. Like Arsenal, of all the money they spent in the summer, you would think they would have really improved this one. Their attacking options where everything doesn't have to be heavy light on the side, but it feels like it's either everything has to go through Saka or nobody else seems. I don't know. I'm starting to doubt that they win the league. I'm starting to really doubt because they struggle to break down the worst team that have been bottom in the league. They struggled to break them down really. They really struggled. They had to they had to score from a corner, which was I don't know. They didn't feel like they created a lot of like they are also not using just right. So it's making it look like he's a bad fight. I don't think he's a bad striker, but they don't create enough chances for him. So it feels like if they create one chance and he misses that one chance, it feels like yeah, he doesn't do anything. At some point in the match, I feel like you had four touches, only four touches. No, every out of everything was just side to side. Arsenal, unless they really improve the attacking options, I don't know. I feel like if they continue the way they have, I don't expect them to win the league because everything is predictable. If Saka doesn't create something, feels like nobody else can create. Eze has the sign of Eze has been. I don't say cannot been a flop, but he feel like his signing has been. It's like he has been in moments rather than being like the hat trick against they go up against Crystal Palace, and I think one of the some other assists he has been given. I feel like Matt Odegaard like he has stopped being creative. I don't know. Arsenal just feels like for all the money they spend, feels like they have gone back to the first set. And if they don't improve, yeah, the way Man City are, if Arsenal don't improve, yeah, I think they will lose the league to Man City. Ferdinand, what about
Me, okay, I have a like maybe completely different opinions. I think Martinelli was not terrible, and he wasn't terrible, but he could have done more in this game. But the Joker shout, I don't really agree with the Joker. He doesn't put himself in position to like get the ball. Like yesterday, there were about 5 or 6 crosses in front of the corridor of uncertainty, like right across the front line, and every time he doesn't even get contact with it. If like I don't want to compare with him with Haaland because Haaland is elite, but if it was Haaland in those positions, he'll get something at least on the ball. He'll bother the Wolves defenders. Anytime he's in a duel with any of the Wolves, he's always losing his duels. I don't see Jokeres as an elite striker. I feel like they can do better. Like I feel like if even if Havertz comes into the side, they will drop Jokeres because they'll be much more comfortable with having Havertz in the game. In regards to Saka too, in that match, what I observed most of the time, he's hugging the touchline, and every time he's hugging the touchline, he's being doubled up over there. So like, he's not getting. It's like what you said is very predictable to defend Arsenal. So anytime they get the ball to him, because he's their main source of creation, like he's always being doubled up, so it gets congested at the right side of the pitch. I feel like if Arteta or he himself takes more responsibility and drives with the ball into the field, like into the number 10 positions, and allows Odegaard or is it to go deeper or run off him, like or to open much more space and possibilities for them to create more chances. Because Izzy, from his Crystal Palace days, you see like how they play. He's always in space. He doesn't usually play against low blocks. So I feel like it's an adjustment period for him. He needs to be able to learn how to play against low blocks. People were saying when they signed him that he's the secret to creating chances when they are playing against low blocks. But so far this season, against low blocks, I think he has been finding it difficult. I think if he gets time to adapt, he'll get better at it. But in games where they open up slightly more, he creates chances. When they were playing against Tottenham in the first half, he created one chance, then he got silent. Then after they scored their first goal, then the game opened up. That's when he was able to get his hat trick. So I think once the game opens up for Izzy, that's when he'll start creating much more. But now that Odegaard is back in the side, I don't think he's meant to calm down. So it will be quite complicated for him to adjust to the side unless he does that in training and he is able to do something in the game. This game, Arsenal, Lord, Wolves against Manchester United, Wolves were so open, but I think they underestimated United and United gave them 4 goals. So they pushed everybody back. Like how they were defending that game was difficult for them for Arsenal to create chances. Wolves are definitely going down this season.
Arsenal, everything with Arsenal is too predictable. That they need somebody who is not predictable
That
because
was what
like
I
the
was
way Lamine
saying.
Yamal
Yeah,
can, their left side for me, I feel like is sometimes too abandoned. They don't have everything going down. That's why they are easy to play against, especially no blocks because and the way they play too, it feels like it got the first goal quickly to unsettle the other team. Otherwise, if it keeps the thing keeps going on for long, well, let's see let's see how the season goes for them guys. The way Man City are playing, it looks like they are smelling black. If Arsenal making any mistake, Man City overtake Man City.
yeah.
So now,
Speaking
let's
of
move
Man
on
City,
to
Man City.
okay. Then you can talk about
Yeah,
them. I mean,
you.
I didn't want this match. I was watching Newcastle.
Oh man,
Right.
Charlie. Crystal Palace in the first half, Crystal Palace could have scored at least 3 or 4 goals, bro. Crystal Palace wasted the chances they got. Like they go into scoring positions. I don't know whether they were confused. They didn't shoot early when they shot. Then there was this one chance Yerepino got, and Donnarumma went down early, and he still allowed Donnarumma to make the save. Maybe I'm not professional. Maybe I don't. I would have done the same thing in that scenario. But like I feel like he should have done better in that situation. Crystal Palace played very well in the first half, and I feel like they should have go more like from the chances they created, especially in the first half. Then they allowed Man City into the game. Then once Haaland got that his first goal, it was over in that game. I got some analysis from the game on how Haaland is uh, getting himself free to get crosses, get headers like frequently. Because Manchester City, they will pass the ball around when the opposing team is defending, like in a low block. They'll pass the ball, like when the opposing team's defenders are marking Haaland, like once the ball gets there quickly, they know how to defend it. But if City players are just holding the ball, it's like you make so many passes outside, it makes the defenders in the box relaxed. While they're on their heels, then the cross comes in quickly. Then Haaland is on his toes, and is like it makes it easy for Haaland to get goals in this game, actually. Foden too has got his form back. And at this rate, I don't see any sign of City slowing down. If the opposing teams that they play against don't capitalize on the chances, City, they'll not waste their chances if they get them. They'll definitely score. And if they don't, they create a lot of opportunities for themselves. Opposing teams need to they need to be more clinical because City still concede chances. Look at the Fulham game; they conceded 4 goals and they could have lost at the end. I feel like City they are not they are not invincible. They concede chances and they need to lose before they get into the January transfer window because I feel like they'll sign players to solidify their defense. Because at this point they are conceding chances, but they the teams are not capitalizing on it. So that's my take on the game. Said
This is what I was saying that when it comes to Man City and Arsenal, Man City, a lot of people can score a lot of goals. But Arsenal, they don't have to score a regular number of goals. So right now, Arsenal, there's nobody in Arsenal that can guarantee you even get 10 goals. But let's start to briefly on Aston Villa. I didn't even on the match, but let's touch briefly on Aston Villa. I think Aston Una Emery has done a great job, really, for them to go have gone 8 games in a row, 8 wins in a row, and to have not won the first 5 games and now to be third is very impressive. Now Emery, what and I think the summer transfer window wasn't great. It wasn't great at all, but they have really done one. I think Unai just that he's one of the best managers in the league, and more respect needs to be placed on his name. Yeah. So now let's move on to Newcastle. Sunderland vs Newcastle. This match, the first half was just cagey. It was cagey. They struggled to create chances. The first shot on target was, I think, in the 22nd minute, and that was the longest it's taken for a shot to go on target this season. The goal came from a Voltemade own goal when Enzo Michele crossed the ball into his own net. Then Newcastle, Sunderland sat. I know they decided they didn't say deep in. They made it difficult for Newcastle to create chance. Newcastle clear cut chance. Their shots were most of their shots were blocked. The clear cut chance I would say they had in the second half was when there was a cross from I think it was deflected off Remudo. It was blocked. Um, Wissam missed it, right? Missed it and they caught it. So yeah, and at the end of the school and stuff. But at the end of the day, Sunderland have really impressive this season. Newcastle's away form in the league, Champions League is just criminal. They
Yeah,
struggle out. Their away form is just criminal. But yeah,
yeah,
that was it for the Premier League. Now let's start on Tottenham. Tottenham after winning two games in a row, the Champions League and the Premier League, like they have returned back to type with them losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, which was the biggest match Nottingham Forest beating Tottenham by since 1987. Looks like Sondage is really cooking and Nottingham Forest, and I don't think Nottingham Forest are going down. After the bizarre decision of having three managers at the beginning of the season, looks like they have settled nicely under Sondage, and yeah,
yeah,
Nottingham Forest will fine. But for Tottenham, more pressure is on Thomas Frank for him to deliver now. And already seen Tottenham fans asking for him to go, which even if they take him, I wonder who do. But Tottenham as a club, they are just not in the best moments. The thing is, they struggle to score goals in the match. They had one shot on target. Like, I don't know. Tottenham is just a weird club. It's either Kudus or Pedro Porro. And for me, Kudus, as much as I like him, is not that prolific. So, yeah, real mess. Transition to La Liga. Barcelona won their match against Osasuna 2-0. The match itself, Barcelona created a lot of chances in the first half. They had created a lot of chances to score, but they're just missing left to right, center. Ferran scored by those ruled out for offside. He had an overhead. It was missed. Lami Amal did a lot of nice job, but his shots were either blocked or were missed. Like he couldn't have the shot taken. Rafinha, Rafinha scored a two goal, but honestly, it wasn't his best game. I feel like at the time he didn't have his best game, but as the games, I always thought Hans made changes earlier because I feel like the players should not, so the players on the bench should have come to make some change, but he stuck to his guns. Then around the 76th minute, Pedri played in Rafinha. He scored for a goal from 0. Then the thing was Osasuna. After Osasuna took up Victor Munoz, they are who attacking so they stopped really attacking. Then there was a chance they had a chance to score when they was ruled out for a foul. That same play was not going to make it 2-0. So yeah, now Barcelona has 7 points clear of Real Madrid this evening. So and if Real Madrid then lose that, they're still 7 points clear. Like they'll reduce the gap to 4. I don't know. Barcelona have been impressive ever since in La Liga since they lost Chelsea 3-0. And I have to say, I have to give Hansi Flick credit because Jordan as a centre back has been really incredible. Back, I've not been his biggest fan, but as a centre back, I'm impressed with the way he has been playing. If he continues like this, Hansi Flick might have really just now has really struggled with that because he has been really impressed ever since he moved to centre back and has helped reduce the number of goals you concede and also help keep the high line working. So yeah, that was all for this week's review. With the Real Madrid match and Manchester United matches, we couldn't talk about them because we are recording they have been played. So and don't forget to like subscribe to the channel and comment also about this video. As do you think Arsenal are
Six
winning the
million ways
league
to die.
or Man
Choose
City
one.